In this video, we're going to talk about the filters that we need to see, the parameters we need to see after the opening bell that gives us a thumbs up, the game on this setup, this opening drive play is going to work. Stay tuned. Hey guys, a very warm welcome to you. I was going to bring this up on a PowerPoint, but you know what I want to show is on the chart directly. I want to get straight to the point, so I've brought the chart up and I've just stuck this info into a little text document. We talked about filters that we were looking at before the opening bell, the gap, the position, the overnight range, all that good stuff to say, hey, yes, you know what, there could be a supply-demand imbalance, there could be some momentum, we could jump on this momentum as day traders. Let's have a look a little bit closer. Now, we have a very short window opportunity after the bell where we're going to make a decision whether we're going to take this one or not. Okay, initial reaction. So the first few minutes, what's happening? You know, often, guys, the reason we get this is because brokers are giving orders to execute the open. Brokers are given orders. People say, hey, you know, give me 100,000 shares at the open, or, you know, whatever it may be. It's kind of, again, a time-stamped position where everyone knows what's going on and potentially you can get involved in it. The other thing is that we have algos that are programmed to be much more aggressive at the open because they know that there's a skewed volume proportion at the open and the liquidity's there and they want to have less impact on the market. That's kind of the point of an algo. They know that that's the time when they need to be a bit more aggressive. So they're a lot more aggressive, a lot more driven, a lot more, you know, focused on hitting offers, rather than just sitting there passively as they would do in a low volume environment, perhaps waiting for the price to come to them. So that's another reason. And we need to give it a few minutes. We need to kind of say, hey, listen, what's happening in the first few minutes after? We don't want to jump straight on board because, you know, that can catch us out. Again, this is based on my experience, guys, is that we need to see not only the prior day's action, the overnight, the kind of filters there, but we wanted to see that, hey, we're right. We have judged there's momentum. We have judged that there is potential here for an opening drive trade. Let's just see that we have an opening drive. So if it's digesting in low volume, what do? We wait a few minutes just to see. Let's just see what exactly happens. So let's have a look in this. This is exactly the same chart, guys. I've just drilled on into a 1 minute, and if we zoom out, we can see that was our overnight session. You know, we talked about, and then our open is at 2:30 US time. And let me put a printer in here. So we're opening, you know, around the highs. We weren't exactly on the highs. We said we were actually on the highs when we were looking at the 15 minute chart. But we're not too bad, actually. We're kind of not far off the highs, really. And very, very quickly, we take out the highs. So even though, you know, when we're looking at the broad, higher time frame chart, we're saying actually we're not opening at the highs. And maybe it was wrong to judge that because we're looking at the higher time frame and the candle was kind of compressed. But we're not far off. You know, the high is there. We're reasonably high. We're opening above the prior day's high, which is the most important thing. And you know what? It doesn't matter whether we're looking at that or we're looking at the open now, we're still getting the same picture. And I'll make that point in a second now. Look, we have an opening drive in the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. We push straight above the overnight high and we consolidate above it. Okay, look at that. Consolidation above the overnight high. But the main thing that I notice here is that we've had no indication or no downward pressure whatsoever. So not only have we gapped above the prior day's high, not only have we opened not bad in the overnight range, but we've pushed above the overnight high, we've consolidated above it. At no point have we had any indication that there's downward pressure. No point at all. So for me, that's all I need to know. I want to get involved in this momentum. I know it's upside momentum. I've done my filters. They all look good. The first few minutes has indicated a good heavy drive. It's a good 40-point drive. Maybe that's a bit much. Maybe we want to be a bit careful. And we'll look at that in a second in the probability section. But from a price action perspective, all looking very good. Consolidating at highs, flagging at highs. I want to be involved in it, right? I want to be involved in this. I want to be buying this bull flag. I want to be buying this pullback. If I miss that, I want to be buying the first pullback to a 20 period. You know, I want to be involved in this. I think this is an opening drive potential. First 30 minutes, first hour, it looks good, right? It looks good. So, and you can see how we've kind of deduced this. We looked at the gap, the overnight range, the opening drive, what's happened after that bell's gone. The first few minutes has just been pure one-way street. Bang, 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 bang. Solid momentum. Push, holding at highs. No real attempt to retest lows at all, an acceptance of a new level. And again, even if we're looking at it and we say, hey, the open was above the overnight high, and we incorrectly said that it's not, it was and it isn't, it doesn't matter. The fact is, it's still pushed above it at the open. So we're still making the same kind of assumption when we get to the point of pulling the trigger. And that actually was a really good example that we did that, because it shows the power of using both the pre-market action and the actual open action to make the decision. Okay, so next video, guys, I'm going to talk about how we can enter the opening drive, and I kind of touched on it there and I've jumped the gun a little bit, how we can enter the opening drive, the parameters for pulling the trigger, and also looking at not avoiding chasing too much and getting perhaps caught out when the momentum's already done. So stay tuned for that one. See you in the next video.